Hey everybody, it's Christopher Small with CMS Law Firm. I'm super excited and happy to be here to talk with you again today, as I am every day, about some fun, exciting, interesting estate planning topics. Today, as the title implies, or whatever is above you implies, we are talking about where to store your will. Now, if you don't have a will, or if you need to update your will, or if you have questions about your will, or questions about anything else, please go to estatemeeting.com and book a time to talk to me. It's free. It's no big deal. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to learn a little bit about you and your family and your goals, and give you some helpful information and advice for doing the things that you need to do to protect your family. So that's that. Let's talk about how or where to put your will. And it's funny, this has come up twice now in the last couple of days, so I thought that I would talk about it. When I'm done with clients, or when we're done with the signing, I always tell them sort of the same spiel. I say, look, these documents. Step one: do not put them in a safety deposit box. Okay, that is the worst place that you can put them, because those things are actually really safe. And when you die, no one's going to be able to get into them without getting a court order. I know, because I've tried, and I've gotten court orders, and it's a huge pain in the butt. All right, so don't put your estate planning documents in your safety deposit box. The other thing to remember too is, for some of these, like your powers of attorney in particular, there may be the need to get access to those very quickly. Like if you're in a car accident and somebody needs to get access to those to use them, so they can help you, then you want them to be readily available. You don't want to get in a car accident on Sunday or Saturday night and not be able to get access to your safety deposit box until Monday, because that's when the bank's open. So step one for consideration. Step two, then the next thing that I usually say is, you really just want to keep them in a place where your people can find them if they need them, okay? I purposefully and specifically create all of my estate plans to not have any sensitive information in there, which means there's no social security numbers, there's no bank account numbers, there's no important numbers of any kind, other than maybe your birth date. And I do that on purpose, because it gives you sort of the freedom to store these documents in a place that is safe and is dry and all that kind of stuff, but that is also accessible to your people if they need those documents. Okay, so that is sort of number two, which sort of flows into number three. I typically say, look, you don't really need to keep them in a safe if you don't want to. Copies of almost everything will work, and the things that are problematic with copies can still be solved. Like if there's a fire or if there's a flood, particularly if you don't die. Okay, then it's very simple to recreate those and make them again. So that's number three. Number four, and this is what's come up, and this is what made me think about doing this, is you want to make sure that you put them in some place where you can actually remember where they are. I had some clients that came in today, and they did their first plan in 2017, October 2017, and they're back in to do like just a real tiny refresh. And what they came in to sign today was called a codicil, which is like an amendment to your will that you just drop on top of your will. And I told them, I said, okay, just take this home and put it in your binder and put it on top of your will. And they were like, well, we don't know where those are. And I'm like, okay, well, go find them. Okay, take a look around. They can't have gone that far in a year, so they got to be around. So make sure that you know where you keep them, and you keep them in a place where you can find them if you need to. It's sort of probably the last thing to consider when you are storing your estate planning documents. The last thing to consider that I talk about often, that sort of goes with storage but sort of not, is do you give copies of all these things to your people? And what I always say to everyone is that that's sort of a decision that I'm going to leave up to you, the client, to make, because I don't know your family, I don't know who your people are, I don't know sort of when it comes to privacy, what your sort of specific approach is to life. Some people want to hold everything super close to the vest, some people don't, and it's not for me to say whether one is right or wrong. So what I typically say is just take all those things into consideration, and then just do what feels right for you. I mean, it's your documents, it's your money, it's your property, it's your everything. So you can tell people about it or not. It's up to you. So that's it. All right, so to recap real quick, by the way, if any of this is getting you excited about making a will or talking about updating your will, then go to estatemeeting.com, set up a time to talk with me, and we'll do it. It's free. Okay, but to recap now, where to store your estate planning documents. Number one, do not store them in safety deposit box. Number two, keep them someplace where your people can find them and tell your people where they are. So even if you don't share them, you could at least say, look, we have an office at the house. It's in the top drawer of the file cabinet, power of attorney, medical power of attorney, wills, life insurance policies, all these kinds of things. They're all there. Number three, if you have a safe, by the way, which I actually didn't mention, but I thought about it and didn't talk about it. If you have a safe, it's okay to put the documents in the safe. I kind of mentioned this, but it's not really necessary. If the documents are destroyed, copies will work, and you can make them work, assuming there aren't just some weird, crazy facts surrounding your circumstances, but they will work. If you do put your documents into a safe, then again, you're going to want to make sure that somebody that you know has the combination so that they can get in there and get access to those documents if they need them. That's number 4, right? Number 3, I think. I don't even remember what number 4 was. But it's, number 4 was remember where you put your documents. So same kind of thing, put these someplace where you can find them if you need them. That way if you do any updates, typically you're gonna stack your update to a trust or a will on top of the other. If you create a new power of attorney, you're gonna wanna rip up and destroy the old one. And so you wanna make sure that you know where those are so that you don't run into problems with regard to confusion and which version is new and which version is correct and all that kind of stuff. So you wanna make sure that you know where they are, all right? And then the last thing is just with regard to whether or not to actually share these with family members and give them to them so they have them. It's sort of a personal decision. Just depends on how much, how private you are, how forthcoming you are with this kind of information, and how much you want people to read your stuff. I typically don't put any sensitive information in those documents, so there's not really a problem with people like stealing your social security number necessarily. But you know, the people that you give those to are going to know where your stuff is going when you die. They're going to know who your guardians are for your kids if you have kids that are minors. So if you don't want them to know that, if you want to keep it a secret, then don't give them the documents. All right, that is it. Once again, I'm Christopher Small with CMS Law Firm. We do estate planning, we do probate. If you have questions about anything, please go to estatemeeting.com, set up a time to talk with me for free. I would be happy to do it, learn about you and your family, see if I can't help you. Otherwise, if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you know someone that needs to hear it, please share it with them. And if you have questions or comments, please leave them. I would be happy to answer them. All right. Hope you have a great day. Hope you enjoyed this video and got something out of it, learned something. That's the whole point. And I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.